Hey, it's producer Casey. This week, my good friend Tony is wrapping up shooting of the acclaimed Chicago-based TV series The Bear. My other good friend TJ is taking his extremely charming son Harrison to see Cirque du Soleil's Love in Las Vegas before it closes. And I am here twiddling my thumbs, dreaming up schemes to save enough money for that $1,700 Mind Games box set. It's probably sold out by now. Of course, it's Memorial Day weekend, which here in the US typically marks the start of the summer. And this week, we thought we'd revisit one of our favorite episodes from last summer. We will, of course, be back next week with an all-new episode covering some of the more egregiously priced Beatles collector items. But in the meantime, please enjoy this replay of our Untitled Beatles Summer Fantasy LPs.
Are you ready for some love and fun in the sun? And the summer is ready for you.
Well, it's the Fantasy Summer episode here at the Untitled Beatles podcast slate. 3, 2, 1. Untitled Beatles podcast. That felt like a nice, crisp summer slate, like a cool lemonade, just wandering down like a river down my tongue, down my esophagus, into my belly where it swirls. Seals.
Stick it down right up on my tongue now. Stick it on my tongue, I don't know the chord. That's wrong.
Ooh, I like that. That was jazz.
Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune.
Well, welcome to the Untitled Beatles podcast. It's summer. I'm Tony.
And I'm TJ. You can tell it's summer by a 4-minute beginning of no laughs other than us.
Yeah. Well, everyone's left for summer. That's why there's no laughs. Yeah. The laughs have been replaced by wonderful crickets.
Well,
summer crickets.
That's what they called. Oh, remember this song? Summer Crickets? That'll be the day that I die. It's the world's worst mashup. I'm telling you, I got summer breeze brain right now. You know, Tony, it is the summer, and this will probably air in early August, mid-August.
Somewhere around then, I think. Maybe even late July. I don't know. But it's July currently. We are currently in the month of July. It is summer. We're not doing the thing like where we record a Christmas album in summer and then pretend it's cold. No, this is summer, and we're recording in the summer.
In fact, to prove it, here's the opening theme from the Bill Murray classic, Meatballs.
But over here at Camp North Star this morning, we're going to be having a delicious gruel breakfast. And don't forget to ask for seconds because it's all the gruel you can eat.
I am ready for the summer, TJ. In fact, it's been here for a while. In fact, my landlord should be arriving at any moment to replace a broken ceiling fan that grinded to a halt.
That's why you can't live in Chicago no more. Broken ceiling fans.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty.
But enough of my domestic problems, TJ. How are you? How's your summer?
I mean, it's fine. You know, some of my light switches haven't been in great shape. I'm trying to find my disposal. The noise and the WD-40 won't work. So you got to call somebody. I don't fix disposals, guy.
How's your hammock? You got a hammock?
Yes, but I only use it in Detroit neighborhood Hamtramck.
Oh, thank you. I've been there. I've played Hamtramck.
Shout out to our friends from the D.
They call me the Hamtramck Hammer.
Big Detroit. I stayed overnight in Hamtramck above an old meat, like a meat deli that had been out of business for a long time.
3, 4, ding dong, ding dong.
That old chestnut.
Roasting on an open fire as you record in mid-December. Tony, the Dolphins are 7-8.
No, it's July. We are definitely not pre-recording this in December because we're so far ahead of things.
Tony, I got to predict for all you people who bet on sports, the Dolphins will be 7-8 in December. Book it.
hang on to your money. Don't bet it.
No, don't bet it.
Well, yeah, in fact, today is July 6th. And TJ, you stumbled upon a special anniversary on July 6th.
Yes, that is right. People come to the Untitled Beatles podcast for the facts. And as Mark Lewison, I think, first reported, as a lot of people know, Saturday, July 6th, 1957 is, of course, when Something was released as a Beatles A-side. It was George's first A-side. Tony?
I believe that buzzer means... No, TJ, I think you're on the wrong chapter.
No, today, Saturday, July 6th, 1957, at the crowning of the Rose Queen at the Woolton Parish Church.
Woo! Woolton!
Stuart Sutcliffe and Jimmy Nicol joined the Beatles. Suck it, Mark!
Mark Lewison is widely recognized as the world's foremost authority on the Beatles. His books are considered indispensable by Beatle fans and music historians.
It's true. No, that's not true. But it is true on this date. It was the day John and Paul met at that summer fete.
Sorry, can we go back? That's embarrassing that I didn't know that.
Sorry, no. Okay. Can we go back?
Can we go back? I gotta get back in time.
Oh, no, we don't have that technology. We don't have that technology, TJ. I'm sorry. It's a reality show. We can't do that.
Okay, guess there's egg on my face. Literally, double dare, slime me.
Doggone it! Try yourself off and let's play some more double dare.
Yeah, it's one of the most important days in Beatle history, if not the most important day. It everything that existed in music as we know it was before this day, and that's what makes this a very cool day. It is like as close to a Beatle holiday as you can get.
Yeah. It's the origin story. It begins on this day. Does it terrify you, TJ, to think of, like, oh, what if Paul had a summer cold that day and didn't attend the garden fete?
Well, Tony, if Paul had a summer cold, he'd take some Dayquil. Summer cold. I don't know the chords for the chorus, so I'll keep repeating that. Because it gets trickier than you want it to be.
Yeah, well, the chorus probably goes up. It feels like it goes up. Full step? I don't know.
The day has arrived where I finally get to correct TJ's music. It goes, play an E chord, then you play a G chord, then a D and an A, then back to E and A minor 7. Keep practicing, buddy. You'll get there.
Let's get under the hood of Seals and Crofts and try to figure out the song without the internet.
The piano is horrible, but I like TJ trying to figure Summer Breeze out by ear for 45 minutes. It's an easy chord. I can't grab it right now. Yeah, I mean, certainly if Paul had a cold or if John had the same cold that, the Beatles had to force him, as we talked about recently, to force him to record Please Please Me, the album, and Sing, Twist, and Shout. John was like, fuck this. I'm sick. I don't want to be here, guys. I want to watch television. I want to Netflix and chill. I don't feel good. I need Pedialyte. And, and the Beatles had to prompt John into fighting through it. If Paul had a cold, maybe Paul would have been a man, but he didn't. And John met Paul. The Quarrymen were, soon to be in the dustbin of history, and the Rose Queen was crowned. Real Beatle fans know the Rose Queen's name. What is it? P3C Nuts.
The 1957 Wilton Rose Queen was Miss Sally Wright, of course.
That is a 6 question on Trivial Pursuit Beatles style.
Yeah, man, it's a great day, and I always forget that these two are back to back because something that happened and many years later, Ringo, he's going to turn 83 years old on the 7th of July,
which is tomorrow for us, taping today. So he has turned 83 by the time you hear this. Happy 83rd birthday, Ringo.
Yeah, peace and love, peace and love. Are you going to do the peace and love thing? I know that cities across the world at a certain time, I think it might be 7, I don't know. I've never done it. Is it like afternoon in LA where everyone says peace and love and he's always there with Joe Walsh?
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
this is a thing. This is his like Hands Across America, it sounds like.
It is. They do it in front of the Capitol Tower in LA. I don't know what time it is. Like, I don't mock it. I've just never done it, you know.
I guess, yeah, clearly I have not done this. Maybe I'll participate tomorrow. It's okay. Okay. Yeah, TJ, hold me to that next time we speak. Did I do it? And I'll give you an answer.
Well, that's great viral video we can post for our Patreon Discord friends of Tony and I doing Peace and Love with a timestamp of when it actually is.
Yeah, we'll buy a newspaper and hold it up and everything. Even though we could buy a newspaper and just do it afterwards. But anyway, yes. Yes. Yeah, that should be some hot Patreon only content, which we don't do. We don't really do that. Yeah, if you do want to join Patreon, we appreciate that. That's support for the show comes from you, the wonderful listener. And yeah, you can join our Patreon, and we do have a Discord, and you can discuss and Beatles stuff. This, you know, all the stuff we do. We have a little fun community there that we talk about little Beatle facts. We share Beatlesque bangers. We talk about other bands from time to time.
Quite often Ben Folds or Marshall Crenshaw, if those are your interests.
Yeah. Crenshaw's coming to Evanston. Did you see that, man?
Yeah, he's coming to space. I've seen him before. I don't know if I am going to spend the money to see him again, but I'll bet it's going to be great. He's awesome.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Also, like and subscribe, write a review. We've got merch on TeePublic. We also have mulch. This was a communication error between Casey and but yes, it's rubber mulch. You can get Untitled Beatles Podcast rubber mulch. It's locally sourced though, 100% organic rubber. But it's Untitled Beatles mulch. It's not too late to mulch your yard. Untitled Beatles. Thank you, Casey. We were talking about merch. He got mulch. Blame it on. I don't mean to throw you under the bus, Casey.
Tony, it's a minor mishap, and I want to make sure that all of our listeners know that you can tell it's U.S. organic rubber mulch if it starts with "I've just seen a face." If your rubber mulch begins with "Drive my car," it is not certified organic U.S. rubber mulch.
Rubber mulch. Hey, hey. And real quick, before we get into our topic about summer, this summer, TJ, Casey, and I will be doing a podcast at this year's Fest for Beatles fans in Chicago, the festival formerly known as Beatle Fest. It's going to be August 11th through the 13th. Details are still being worked out, TJ, as to when we will be doing our thing. We thought we might do kind of a show where I'd be playing drums and you'd have the keys and it'd be fun, an interactive thing. But we might end up just being in a closet right now with no drums and no key. Well, maybe you can bring bring a little Casio SK1.
Yeah, Tony, I'll bring any keyboard as long as I can play with you. However, the one thing I would say is the drums are okay, but get rid of the piano. Horrible. So the podcast might be so annoying, right? It's my favorite review I've ever received.
So stay tuned for that. But we will be at the Fest for Beatles fans, Chicago, August 11th through the 13th is when it takes place at the Rosemont Hyatt. Right?
It ain't Chicago.
No.
Just because they got a Caddyshack restaurant. They do have a Caddyshack restaurant. God bless the restaurants of the Hyatt. But Caddyshack ain't far. I may be getting my dinner at the Caddyshack restaurant just before Liverpool takes the stage.
I've been there. I like that joint.
It's good.
Bill Murray owns it, right?
It's run by all the Murray brothers. Shout out to the Murray brothers, yeah.
I think the fact that it's called Caddyshack means it has something to do with golf.
Murray and his 5 brothers are opening Caddyshack in the Crown Plaza Hotel in Rosemont. Fans of the movie will get to soak in their favorite scenes from Caddyshack as well as other Murray comedies.
Well, TJ, should we talk about our topic at hand?
Tony, our topic at Hands Across America.
Hands across America.
The original Peace and Love.
The original Peace and Love. We were talking about Beatles summer songs, and what better way to talk about these songs than to envision a fantasy Beatles summer LP, like maybe it came out around the same time as Love Songs, or what's the movie one?
Real Music.
real music, rock and roll music, etc.
ETC. Tomorrow never knows. File under rock.
Yeah, man. And I like these fantasy LPs. They're fun to talk about because then you can have a little fun. You can go off the deep end a little bit.
Well, and we're not that far off because some of the compilations, and not just the Capitol stuff, the stuff from all over the globe, like, what is it, the Essential Beatles in Australia, and Beatles Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2, which I think are German early 60s things that are all on the EMI subsidiaries. It wasn't just Capitol releasing bullshit. Local countries made their own weirdo Beatles records and compilations too. A collection of Beatles oldies. Even the U.S. is you know what, we're good. Yeah. So every country's got their own weird shit. So a Beatles summer album is not out of the realm of possibility, certainly in the era in which you're referring, that kind of 70s fertile, Pickwick presents the historic live Beatles on 2 records and 4 8-track tapes. I love that era.
The TV commercial.
Yep.
Order 28 of the Beatles' most popular songs, now available on 2 records or 8-track tape. A must for the collector.
Basically like the Lennon Roots album, right?
That's what it was. Or the Beatles, the box set that inspired the Red and Blue albums. There, Alpha Omega, I think it was, where they did like a mail order box set of records that was like Beatles Greatest Hits plus some weird solo stuff. Fuck, this is going to haunt me all day. I'm just going to say it's Alpha Omega, and that's what inspired the Red and Blue albums, because EMI's like, we got to get this out with original masters.
I hope there's like the ghost of Jimmy Nickel comes to visit you tonight to give you to show you your life and how you could have remembered that fact better.
Jimmy Nickel is Jimmy Stewart in Wonderful Life, huh?
I can never make up for what Ringo is,
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
Well, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to do it?
Should we roll trivia? Do you have Trivial Pursuit dice handy?
Oh! It'll take me a minute.
It will take me a minute. Forget it. Let's just...
I can do it. It's right here. Here, I'll roll a die.
Okay.
Here. Oh, wow. Listen to that. Board game flatulence.
Can you do some Andrew Dice ASMR?
Yeah, here's some ASMR for you. Here, let me... Ooh, the pieces. Here. Okay, here's the die. So how do we do this? Highest number or...
Let's pick one now and then you throw it up in the air and whatever it lands on is the one that wins.
Okay. I'm going to pick the number 1. What number are you going to pick?
I got 5.
Okay. Okay. It landed on 4. That is closer to 5.
Great. So I am going to accept and I will go first.
Okay, great.
I will receive.
Detroit has won the toss and elected to defer. Chicago, you want the ball? You want the ball?
I want to defer.
They deferred. You want the ball. You want the ball. Which way do you want to kick? Chicago will receive at this end. Good luck.
That is an all-timer.
Okay. Here is my scenario. Now, Tony, as you may be aware, the Red and Blue albums came out in 1973. Not a lot of solo Beatles albums in 74, Tony. You had Walls and Bridges in September, Goodnight Vienna in November, and Dark Horse basically toward the end of the year in December. They had a ton of 45s, including some holdovers from Band on the Run, a lot of 45s in 74, but there wasn't Beatle product for the insatiable fan.
True.
Who already had the Red and the Blue albums. They didn't need those again, Tony. But as a precursor to what would follow in 1976's rock and roll music, Capitol Records was inspired by Summer and decided to reach back and call this album In the Mood, Some Enchanted Beatles, file under Doughboy.
No, wait, what? What the fuck is this title? In the Mood, that's a Glenn Miller reference, right?
It's called In the Mood, Some Enchanted Beatles, file under Doughboy. Now, in a precursor to rock and roll music, Capitol was inspired by how summer felt shortly after the Second World War ended. So this album has photos of the Beatles coming home from the war on VJ Day, which also meant VJ got a cut of this. That's why this album was scrapped. This was really not a fantasy Capitol album. But the beautiful thing is they're surrounded, the Beatles coming home from the war, being hugged by random women. They're surrounded by images inspired by the legendary 1949 Broadway musical South Pacific.
Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger.
So, not since the Butcher cover had there been such controversy. Capitol would soon realize their mistake. They would scrap it entirely and correct things by being more forward-thinking for 1976's rock and roll music and use the 50s as a jumping-off point, realizing the 40s were merely too dated.
May I just say... Holy shit to your premise. That is an amazing premise. The idea was that rock and roll music in 1976, that compilation was very 1950s, and the precursor to it was 1940s, and it was just two 1940s that they never released it.
No, they couldn't do it. They didn't mind the 40s concept. What really disturbed them was the theft of images from the Broadway production of South Pacific on the album. They were being sued by Columbia at the time, who'd later signed Paul McCartney. It all links together.
Got it. So this is a copyright thing.
Yeah, copyright. Yeah,
this is a fair use thing. Okay.
Now you can't find it. You can probably find a YouTube compilation. A few people like Swingin' Pig did a reissue of this. There's a few great Vigitone, a few of the great bootleg labels, Nems, all did versions. But the original is very hard to find. They only made 3 of them. They all went to Alan Livingston, who might have been dead. I don't really know.
According to Wikipedia, Alan Wendell Livingston was an American businessman best known for his tenure at Capitol Records. As a writer-producer who created Bozo the Clown for a series of records and children's books. He died in 2009, long after TJ's hallucinated album release.
At any rate, here's what's going on, Tony. The good thing about this record, it's got 16 songs. It was a single album meant to be fair to the record buyer after buying 4 albums of Beatles' greatest hits the previous year. And they decided, Capitol did, which they never do, decided to not repeat anything from the Red and the Blue album in their quest to find songs that felt like summer. And Tony, here's what they came up with next week on the Untitled Beatles podcast.
Oh, Untitled Beatles podcast. 2-parter. Maybe a 4-parter.
You never know. Summer vibes. Okay, so here's what's going on. You're going to notice that the first 2 songs on side 1 are in the same order on the Revolver album. And this album's heavy on Revolver because the Red album basically ignored Revolver. You had Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby. They tried to overcompensate with this. Thank you, Capitol. It opens with Good Day Sunshine.
Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. I need to
Great opener.
It's, it's summertime. It's a summer album. And then goes directly into And Your Bird Can Sing, which feels like summer exploding out of your speakers.
Tell me that you got everything you want, and your bird can sing, but you don't get me. You don't get me.
Nice. That's a nice 1-2.
The only thing is Capitol made a mistake on the labels that they then replicated some years later. It says Good Day Sunshine like it does on the P.S. Love Me Do single from 1990. I had to double check my collection to make sure of it. Capitol's got a typo on the McCartney birthday cassette single. It says Good Day Sunshine. And it started here. Capitol made the mistake here. Then,
are you sure that's a mistake? Are you sure that they weren't just saying sunshine, like "Shend her love to me"?
No, that's right. Paul was doing a tribute. Forget the Lennon medley with Strawberry Fields and Hell. Paul's tribute was to Misery Callback.
Send her back to me.
That is so good. I love the misprint. I love the original misprint.
That's where it came from. So then we go track 3. So we got a Paul and John. Track 3 is For You Blue, which feels, it's got kind of that summertime vibe to it. When I made the compilation, I'm like, oh, Paul kind of lifted some of the feel of I Lie Around from For You Blue. It's got kind of like a little bit of a little bit of that feel anyway.
Because you're sweet and lovely, girl, I love you. Because you're sweet and lovely, girl, it's true. Furthermore, in the country, I will lay my burden down.
Capitol always has random songs in random places, so track 4 for no good reasons altogether now. Just there.
Sail the ship, chop the tree, skip the rope, look at me. All together now, 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 all together now.
Track 5 of side 1. When I think of what you do in the summer and what Capitol thought, like a big fair, we got For the Benefit of Mr. Kite is in the 5-hole.
The celebrated Mr. K performs his feat on Saturday at Bishopsgate. The Hendersons will dance and sing as Mr. Kite flies through the ring. Don't be late. Mrs. K and H assure the public their production will be second to none. And of course, Henry the Horse dances the waltz.
You go into Blackbird.
Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. Into the light of a dark black night.
Getting better.
I admit it's getting better. A little better. All the time. Can't get no. Yes, I admit it's getting better. It's getting better. Since you've been mine. Getting so much better.
And side 1 ends with Rain.
When the sun shines, they slip into the shade. Sunshine,
Nice. A nice summer rain.
Thank you. Any thoughts?
I think it's a great compilation. I love the feel. They all feel like summer songs all together now. I'm going to bring up one inaccuracy, TJ.
Give it to me.
Correction. Being For the Benefit of Mr. Kite. The date of that event took place in February.
Right? Oh my God, that's wrong. I'm thinking of the poster. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It evokes summer.
It definitely evokes summer. When I was compiling my summer thing, I almost put Mr. Kite on there, and I did look up the date, and I was like, February. I'm like, can't do it. It's like so stupid.
Tony, let me tell you something about a summer fair. Horrible. So, okay, side 2 opens. We have side 1 closes with rain. So side 2's got to open with some sunshine, right? And in my mind, it's The Inner Light.
without going out of my door, I can know all things on earth. Without looking out of my window, I can know the ways of heaven. The farther one travels, the less one knows, the less one really knows.
Oh, nice.
First time on an album. Inner
Yeah.
Light opens side 2, so it's Capitol giving the fans this great song on a record for the first time.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to
Please,
interrupt.
yeah.
Was Inner Light on Hey Jude or no? Am I
No,
crazy?
they only had... Fuck me. Am I remembering it wrong? No,
I'll just look it up real quick.
Wait, no, I'm going to pull it out. Excuse me?
Oh, hey. Yeah, pull it out. Let's do it old school.
Oh, my God.
I could be wrong. Oh, you probably have your headphones off.
No, it's not. I got totally in my head because it's not.
I'm sorry. I thought it was. Okay. So Past Masters, that was the first time Inner Light was on a record, huh? In the real...
Rarities was the first time Inner Light was on a record, yeah.
Rarities.
That's where it appeared, yeah.
That's why. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
What are you apologizing for? All good. Yeah. All good. Well, now my flow's off. Yeah. Kiss my grits.
Hell, kiss my grits.
So, yeah, it's the first time this has appeared on a Capitol album. It would later appear on Rarities. I'm pretty sure Inner Light is shared on both the British and American Rarities, one of the few songs that share between those two albums. Buzz me if I'm wrong. Track 2 opens with the first ever clean fade-in of Dear Prudence. Arguably one of the great songs about the sun that the Beatles ever wrote. One of their best songs about nature.
I agree, man. The sun is out. The sky is blue. It's beautiful, and so are you.
Won't you come out and play? We then go after the mellow bit of Dear Prudence into I'll Follow the Sun.
One day you'll look to see I've gone, for tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun.
And how do you follow I'll Follow the Sun with a song that, to my knowledge, has never been on any Beatle compilation of note worldwide, and that's Flying. You go right from I'll Follow the Sun into The Journey, that's Flying.
That is a wild pick, man. I like that. That's a wild pick. All right. Yeah.
It's going to get a little more weird because how does one just do Sun King? I tried many times to extend the ending and let it just kind of fade out a bit rather than going right into the quick fade before Mean Mr. Mustard. I couldn't do it. So Capitol made the weird choice to put Sun King through Bathroom Window right here.
Shaves in the dark, trying to save paper. Well, you should see polythene pie. She's so good looking, but she looks like a man. Well, you should see her in black, dressed in a polythene bag. Yes, you should see polythene pie. Yeah. She came in through the bathroom window, protected by a silver spoon.
Oh,
the 4-song medley.
Half medley. Yeah,
it's a half medley. Basically, yeah. You don't have You Never Give Me Your Money at the top. You don't have Golden Slumbers at the end. It's just those rock songs after Sun King.
And that's a nice, good, clean break, too. Window gives you that nice break.
And it feels summery. It just got that medley's got a summertime fun feel. We go into that. Let's bring it down a bit, Tony, with Mr. Moonlight, because it's almost nighttime.
Oh.
Mr. Moonlight, you came to me one summer night, and from your beam you made my dream.
What do you do at nighttime? A lot of people break into the weed, so Got to Get You Into My Life, into Tomorrow Never Knows. We begin with Revolver in order, we end with Revolver in order.
Got to get you into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, I didn't
And that, my friends, I want to tell you, is In the Mood. Some Enchanted Beatles, File Under Doughboy.
File under Doughboy. All right, two things.
Please, yeah.
So Tomorrow Never Knows is a summer song to you, yeah?
Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream.
Got it. I like that. Okay, all right.
And again,
that's wild.
I'm intentionally overcompensating for two things. One, how Revolver was left off of 62 to 66, except for those two songs. And two, how butchered and terrible the U.S. Revolver was.
Yeah. Might I suggest you could have put I'm Only Sleeping on there too, probably.
It was on there. Songs rejected where I'm Only Sleeping and I'm So Tired. I had those, but I just couldn't find. And by the way, John's got the most songs. So just so you know, John's got 9 songs. Paul's got 7. George has 2, and Ringo is Part of Flying.
Well, I think that's great. And then the Doughboy thing, that has to do with World War II then, right?
Right, but just the fat veterans, the doughboys. They called the fat ones doughboys because they were doughy. Duh.
No, I don't understand. I don't understand the Doughboy reference.
Didn't they call our soldiers doughboys? Am I making that up?
Okay, that's what I thought. But then when you did the bit, I wasn't sure.
Well, no, I mean, the way I understand it, most music from that era is called doughboy music.
Is that right? I don't know. I'm not a big Doughboys National World War One. Oh wait, why were World War II? Hold on, I'm just putting it into. I'm just putting it into Google. I put in.
When did
Doughboys...
you become B3Z nuts?
Touche, Mendoza. The replacer becomes the replaced.
No, I just want to know. Here, Doughboy, Wikipedia.
World War II, right?
It was popular infantryman during World War I. It was gradually replaced during World War II by GI, but you know.
Amazing. Brought to you by fucking Prilosec. We present In the Mood, Some Enchanted Beatles, File Under GI.
You know what I love about this country? Trick question. I love everything about this country, including Prilosec OTC.
I always thought Doughboy was anyone who served. And I want to say very clearly, I respect the heck out of people who serve. That's not something I am brave or strong enough to do. So I'm not mocking anyone who serves. I just thought Doughboy was a term.
Yeah. And then the Ghostbusters changed it for everybody.
The Stay Puft Doughboy at the end.
Look! No! It can't be. What is it? It can't be. What did you do, Ray? Oh, shit.
It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
All right, Tony, I'm guessing you also have an album.
Oh, I do. TJ, thank you for asking.
Should we roll the dice again to see whether or not you get to do it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get it out again.
ASMR callback alert.
It is my turn, TJ. I also did find a rare, unreleased Capitol compilation from the 70s, like you. I found this. It was in like a thrift store. I was just, crate digging as I do. And, this is not even at a record store. This is one of those things that the person didn't know what they had. They probably, had an uncle that worked at Capitol or something like that. But I got this record for $1.50. And oh my God, it's a single album. It was, I did some research on this. It was based on the success of the Beach Boys' Endless Summer double LP compilation released in the summer of '74. Capitol Records attempted to strike gold the following year with Liverpool Side.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Released on the summer solstice of 1975, it went straight to number 1 because it contained a then new unreleased Beatles song. More on that later.
Now and then.
With using 70s AI technology, they were able to take a demo that John had yet to record. And they put Jeff Lynne.
George Harrison said, I don't want George Martin. I want young Jeff Lynne.
Yeah. So the cover art for this, they got the same illustrator as Endless Summer, the Beach Boys comp. Keith McConnell's the guy's name. So it depicts the current day Beatles of 1975, but they're dressed in those striped old-timey swimsuits from that 1963 photo shoot at the beach.
Yeah.
You know, Paul's got he's wearing the mustache. He's got the soul patch. He's got the Bowie mullet. John has his big, like, English flat cap on. He looks very moon-faced. George's hair's super long. He's just got a mustache. And Ringo has a beard and a very large bow tie, and he's eating fish and chips while being chased by a flock of seagulls. That's like the comedy there.
Did Ringo run?
Ringo ran. He ran so far away.
Everything was fine. He walked along the avenue.
Yes, there is a hype sticker on there, plus a rare unreleased fab recording from the BBC archives. 3 exclamation points. So, TJ, side 1 begins with a classic Good Day Sunshine.
We take a walk, the sun is shining down, burns my feet as they touch the ground.
Very similar
Same beginning, yep.
to File Under GI or Doughboys, depending on which they had to, you know, because it was like a butcher cover on your hype sticker. They had to put a sticker over Doughboys.
I steamed so many Capitol albums in the 70s praying to God I'll find an original Doughboy.
Try butter-flavored crescents. Fresh and hot. And Pillsbury says it best.
Good Day Sunshine. It opens side 2 of Revolver. Why not side 1 of Liverpool side? You're not going to leave this one off of a summer mix. Paul with his good time vibes going straight into that fade in of 8 days a week.
I need your love, babe. Guess you know it's true. Hope you need my love, babe. Just like I need you.
TJ, I think you've described this song as like a Windows down banger.
Yeah.
I agree.
Barely even know her.
I know, maybe Windows, I don't know if you said banger, but you said Windows down. But yeah, this song has always evoked a Windows down. It's almost like when the song fades in, there's a parade float that's approaching, and the Beatles are just like, come on, get on the float with us for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And, you know, you're waving at people, getting things thrown at you.
They should have added horns to this, like the Twist and Shout parade scene.
Now we're going to change modes of transportation. We're going to go from parade float to airplane with Back in the USSR. Flying High with Paul and those Beach Boys style vocals. So we're getting into that Beach Boys summer vibe on this song, a parody song.
Flew in from Miami Beach, BUAC. Didn't get to bed last night. On the way to paperback was on my knee. Man, I had a dreadful flight. I'm back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boy. Back in the USSR.
Into a punchline song, Drive My Car.
Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And maybe I love you. Beep, 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 yeah.
This one's always had a summer vibe to me.
Yes.
And it was, I remember, I think, was it Anthology, that book Anthology, where they talk about how they started writing like comedy songs, and Drive My Car was technically a comedy song.
Yes.
It has a punchline at the end, like I found a driver and that's a start. But yeah, there's not a lot of winter songs about driving around inclement weather. So this to me has always been a summer song.
Unless the Beatles are piled on top of each other in a broken down van in a snowstorm.
It's a different album. That's the Beatles' Curiosities record. That's the sniffy Curious record.
It's the first scratch and sniff Capitol ever produced on vinyl.
Yeah. Scratch and sniff vinyl, the vinyl, yeah. The stylus evokes an essence off of the grooves in the vinyl.
There's always that one guy at Beatlefest in the 80s sniffing around the Beatle bed sheets, the little quarters of them, to see if they were authentic.
You want to smoke, Steve? It's going round.
Then we too, TJ, we follow the sun. I'll follow the sun.
One day You'll find that I have gone, but tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun.
It's got sun in the title. The acoustic forward arrangement feels breezy. There's an outdoors feel to the song. I always picture an actual person like on foot walking towards the sun when that's what the title of this song evokes for me, the feel.
It's so great. Real quick on that, Tony, think about how different it is from Paul's early embryonic, almost skiffily demos of it, and how lovely they'd arranged it by the time they recorded it as a band. Like it was already a great song. One of Paul's oldest songs. It was more jaunty.
Hey.
And then they kind of did this really mellowed out version that we all know and love. And great call.
Yeah. It started off as just like a more traditional sounding skiffle song, almost like a 1-4-5, just tread through. But you're like you said, he turned it into this Beatles song.
Yeah.
You know, an original. That was their deal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We have a lot of songs in common, also because, they didn't have that many like sunny. They're from, Liverpool. So, it's not exactly like Sunshine City over there.
They were born when the Second War ended and, all the doughboys came home. In England, they're called doughboys still. Hello, doughboy.
They're called Biscuit Boys, I think.
Biscuits back. All right. The Biscuit Boys.
I felt sad when they grew older and they became Limp Bizkit Boys, though.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks.
But I too, TJ, out of I'll Follow the Sun, I included Dear Prudence. I thought that was a nice acoustic into an acoustic song. Come out to play. Dear Prudence, it's beautiful. The sky's out. We need John needs a partner in his beach volleyball game against Donovan and Mike Love. Prudence.
Mike Love found a way to make the game less fun, too. You guys mind my friend John Stamos sets? You gonna clap your hands?
Yeah. He drove over in a 34 Chevy.
And I call it a Woody.
Someone hold my nose. Hold my nose.
Just do it for me as this says a joke. That's so silly.
All right, squeeze.
You guys.
Please, cause girls are here.
That's how it used to sound. But he's not going to like that very much.
And as promised, TJ, side one closes with the rare, unreleased BBC recording of the Beatles' I'll Be On My Way.
Oh, one of my favorites. Great.
The sun is fading away. That's the end of the day. As the June light turns to moonlight, I'll be on my way. Just one kiss and I'll go. Don't hide the tears that don't show. As the June light turns to moonlight, I'll be on my way.
Recorded April 4th, 1963 in London. As far as I know, the only Beatles recording of this song, because they gave it to Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas, it was the B-side to Do You Want to Know a Secret?
Wow.
So that's funny too. It is funny how like all these bands were just like Beatle tribute bands at first,
Yeah, well, because they were writing so much great stuff they couldn't stop.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then they finally did what that means a lot.
When she says she loves you, that means a lot.
Sorry, PJ Proby.
But then they got back their mojo with If You've Got Trouble. So,
You think I'm daft in the head?
Soft in the head.
I always say daft. I never know anymore.
I forget, actually. I hear soft.
You think I'm soft in the head?
Mike Mayfield of the Dakotas claims to own an acetate of the demo that he says all Beatles are playing on. But that has yet to be heard, man. Wow. That has yet to be heard. As the June light turns to moonlight is the offending lyric. I think actually John hated that lyric. Paul said it was not up to snuff as well. However, it's good enough for Capitol Records to put on Liverpool side and closes side 1. Side 2 opens with Day Tripper.
She was a day tripper, one-way ticket, yeah. It took me so long to find out, and I found out.
Nothing like a nice summer road trip. Double entendre lyrics make me think that summer wear is in play, you know, and you know what it's like in March, or maybe it's more like April in Chicago. I'm talking about walking around Chicago. I'm thinking about my years when I was a bike messenger, TJ.
Go on.
And I'd be riding my bike, and then like April would come around, and suddenly like everyone got out of all that winter gear, and suddenly you started seeing women in skirts and dresses and shorts, and it was like it was one of my favorite times of the year.
Folks, I don't know if you know this, but he's a girl watcher. Remember this one? He's a girl watcher.
I admire the female form. I quite like it. I think
You're not allowed to say that.
And then a summer rain comes in with rain, nothing like it. We just had a great summer rain here. Did that one hit you? You were in Wisconsin for all that.
Every time
Sorry, you're gonna get me every time.
3 syllables. Summer rain. I gotta learn those chords when the show's over.
Yeah, it rained out the NASCAR thing out here in Chicago. We tried having NASCAR in downtown Chicago, and it rained like insanely for 2 days.
I think it's a good idea because that allowed, and a lot of people like NASCAR, but it allowed millions of people who shit on Chicago all the time to watch an event in Chicago willfully.
Yeah,
they hate Chicago so much they came here and watched the city look great on television. Don't mock Chicago. You know, if you live in Chicago or you grew up in Chicago, you can mock Chicago. If you're not from here, keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Here are some towns that we think suck.
Go on, Tony.
No, I like going everywhere, man. I like going everywhere.
Me too.
The further one travels, the less one knows.
Yes, rain. We're talking about rain. Also, there's mention of lemonade in the song, TJ, which means there's a lemonade stand nearby somewhere in that song. Also, Penny Lane mentions rain, and that's my next song. The rain continues. But there's also sunshine revealing the blue suburban skies as well. So, you know, that to me has always had a summer vibe.
Then the fireman rushes in from the pouring rain. Very strange. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit and eat wild like Penny Lane.
If it hadn't been on Blue, it would have been that and Strawberry Fields would have been on my list for sure.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't include Strawberry Fields for some reason. That to me, that's I don't know why.
Is it a winter song for you?
A little bit. I mean, to me, it's an all year tire for me. I drive that one all year round. You know, a lot of people only listen to Penny Lane during the summer.
My Volkswagen Beatles has got Red Album Drive.
I also, TJ, included The Inner Light.
Arrive without traveling. See all without looking. Do all without doing.
It has a very morning, as in like waking up morning, time of day morning. It feels summery to me. It's kind of a meditation break, and it's a very joyous tune. I think it can be enjoyed all year round, but it evokes summer for me. Then we go into the lazy kind of a thing with Sun King. You know, you're on the hammock, you've got a G&T or a shandy of some kind.
Maybe you're a GI with a G&T.
Maybe you just steamed off a nice GI sticker over, revealing a Doughboy sticker on your In the Mood unreleased summer record. Yeah, I know what you mean about the segue, though. You had talked about this segue.
What did you do?
I did a hard segue into the acoustic pluck intro of Two of Us. So I got rid of the I dig a pygmy, and it goes straight into the ding, 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 ding.
She got rid of the percussive element after Basement of Doors Gets Her Oats.
I did. I got rid of that, too.
Two of us riding nowhere, spending someone's hard-earned pay. You and me Sunday driving, not arriving on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home.
Wait, so let me ask you, does your Dear Prudence have a clean fade, or does it have the Steve Miller Jet Airliner fade in?
Oh, I did a clean. We learned from the Blue album that with Day in a Life.
Yes.
That you can do a nice clean thing. You just got to go back and do it.
Yep.
So that's what we did.
Hey, man, you just got to go back and do it, bro. Same page.
Yeah, you work at a major label with arguably the largest recording artist in the world. Just do the work.
Oh, sorry, not the Stones.
And then we close with the word. It's so fine. It's sunshine. Fuck. It's the word. Love, ending on a nice Stax groove and a message of love.
Say the word, love. Say the word, love. Say the word, love. Say the word, love.
That's Liver Poolside.
I am so ashamed of myself for leaving off one of my favorite John songs from my favorite Beatles album. I intentionally stayed away from Rubber Soul. Now, Norwegian Wood is like a winter song to me. You don't usually have
Interesting.
Because the fire's inside. Who's got a fire going at night? I know you live in Northern California. All right, it gets chilly. Fine, I hear you. But at the same time, I felt like Rubber Soul was given so much love, rightfully so, on the Red Album. The word, Tony, is one of the very best Beatles songs of that mid-period, I think.
Yeah.
What a great call. And summary.
Very summary, yeah. Now, I know many of you, didn't you notice this? We both left off Here Comes the Sun. Isn't that funny?
Well, my reasoning was because of no Blue Album replications.
And mine was because it's to me, it's a spring song.
Spring.
The ice is slowly melting. To me, that evokes the winter. I mean, you could say, George Harrison, he sings about Savoy truffles and pomegranates. He could be singing about a snow cone, or even, Bomb Pop or whatever. Ice cream novelty. Also, sorry, I actually do have a quote here.
Sure.
In defense of its exclusion, Dave Dexter III said at the time, while the mention of ice in the lyric could refer to a popsicle or perhaps a snow cone, even those clowny yeah mop tops wouldn't resort to singing about ice cream novelties.
I don't know, Tony. First off, F Dave Dexter III, who apparently later changed his name to Tucker. And I'm pretty sure the Beatles sang the famous commercial, the thing about a bonbon, it's always, always gone.
The thing about a bonbon, it's almost always gone. Bonbons are bite-sized, bonbons the right size.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I'm surprised we didn't mention that in our Beatles Sell Out episode.
Do you remember that spot? It's the thing about a bonbon, it's always, always gone. It's like one of those late 80s, who's on more coke? I got an idea.
The guy who wrote for Alf that was a heroin addict wrote that, I think.
Wally.
Willie.
Willie. No.
Hey, Willie. Alf. Willie. Alf. Willie. Alf. Willie.
Alf.
Willie.
Alf.
Willie.
I remember nothing anymore, Tony. When the show started, I had some semblance of a mind. Buzz me for Wally. I don't care, though. I'm referring to Marsha's husband on the Brady Brides was Wally.
Wow.
Saved it.
Deep pull.
That is unfair. We all have a right to feel comfortable. But what if seeing Wally in the nude makes us feel uncomfortable?
Right.
Well, thanks for discussing our summer fantasy Beatles LPs with me, TJ.
I got this. Hey, fans and listeners, what are your suggestions? Send them on a I don't know. Listen or don't. I don't have time for it, Tony. I do it for me.
Are you doing an impersonation of me? Was that what that was?
No, just me being forced to read content from someone.
Okay, that felt very much. I felt seen there.
Oh, truth and dramedy. No.
Well, thank you for listening. Feel free to like and subscribe. Feel free to join us on Patreon. Write a review. We will be at Beatle Fest this year. Excuse me, the fest formerly known as Beatle Fest.
I'm sure they love to be called that. Thank you to the Lapidos family for.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be there. Casey will be there. Thank you to our producer, Casey. It's been a wild summer. Let's keep the summer alive, as the Beatles could have said, but the Beach Boys beat them to it.
Untitled Beatles Podcast. Like and subscribe.